Hello, everybody, and thank you for joining us here at FSD Pharma's channel. Just want to let you guys know what we're going to be doing. We're doing company updates, industry updates, introducing members of the team, and answering any questions you guys got. So if you have any, don't be afraid to send them over to us. Kicking us off here for the first one is co-founder, interim CEO, executive co-chairman, Anthony Durkacz. Anthony, how are you doing today?
Great, Michael. How are you doing?
I'm doing pretty well myself. So as I had said, what we really want to do with this first one is paint a picture of you. Tell us what put you on the path you are on now. What gets you really interested in this stuff?
Sure. So my background is in investment banking, more really merchant banking, and so um, I own a company called First Republic Capital. It's an investment bank in Toronto, Canada. And over the past 10 years, we've done about 200 deals or financings. Many of these companies are private companies that we take public. We've raised hundreds and hundreds of millions of dollars directly, meaning like through our client base. And we've been part of syndicates in the billions of dollars. And we've seen, and we've dealt in almost every industry with a focus that, started to culminate in the cannabis sector in 2016, 2017, 2018, and more recently focused on the psychedelic sector over the past 12 months.
Interesting. I mean, so you were there for the early cannabis boom, then, so to speak.
Yeah, and still a shareholder in a number of different cannabis companies. To me, cannabis, recreationally, I'm okay with recreational. I'm worried about overusage on the recreational side, but what really interests me is the medicinal aspects of cannabis, and now the medicinal opportunities in the psychedelic sector. I think between cannabis and psychedelics, it's a brand new frontier in medicine that, the world knows about, humans have been, taking for decades. But in terms of on a pharmaceutical scale, it's never been looked at because of illegality. And so now, thankfully, the world is changing, and again, I think this is a new frontier, as exciting as when the discovery of penicillin was made.
Yeah, there are some parallels between cannabis and psychedelics. Psychedelics probably never get to the recreational stage, but maybe that's for the better, because the medicinal benefits and the studies going on with psychedelics right now are great. They're showing many, many different use cases for many different issues people have. And aside from what is known as it was like culturally disliked for a long time, I think that kind of stood in the way of the progress being made for it medicinally. But now people are starting to get on board, and you got companies really, really pioneering research into psychedelics. So tell me about how FSD Pharma got started. Tell me that story, and why are you the D in FSD?
Sure. So when the S in FSD, Zishan Saeed brought me, they were operating out of the former Kraft plant outside of Toronto, Ontario. It was a massive facility, 600,000 square foot building, and wanted to get into medicinal cannabis, and I'd applied for the license, and we're looking for money, and so I ended up coming in and raising $53 million for the company, and I guess at that time, against the odds, literally saved them out of bankruptcy at the time. As a private company, you have tough, and then we ended up taking public, and I guess just for whatever reason, because they felt, Zishan and Thomas, that I had done a really good job raising money and taking the company public, that they wanted to bring me in as a co-founder, and they changed the name of the company to FSD Pharma.
Oh, I mean, it sounds like you really made an impact on them and really helped them when they were on the ropes. So yeah, I would say you earned that title at that point.
Thank you.
So then, give me like an overview, an elevator pitch. We're going up 50 floors. I look at you and I say, tell me about FSD Pharma. What do you guys actually do?
Yeah. So up until last year, we were a licensed producer of cannabis, but to stick with the medicinal in the pharmaceutical aspects of cannabis, we ended up acquiring a company called Prismic Pharmaceuticals. And Prismic was a company that had a unique molecule that we refer to as PEA. And this is a molecule that enters the human body the same way cannabis does.
Hmm.
So, humans have what's called the endocannabinoid system,
Hmm.
and those receptors that is in every single human is what connects to cannabis. And so, PEA, although it's not derived or made from cannabis, it still enters our body the same way. And
Hmm.
because it enters our body the same way, we felt there could be a lot of potential in terms of inflammation, for example, or these medicinal properties that we have seen in cannabis because it enters our endocannabinoid system in our body. And so that got us very, very excited. And so currently we are in phase trials with the molecule, and we're looking in auditing as we speak to try to understand where we need to go from here,
Hmm.
and what what target we want to focus on going forward outside of COVID-19, because there are a lot of changes that are happening with COVID, vaccinations, etc. And so, to us, inflammation is a root of a majority of diseases in the human body. And so anti-inflammation properties and anti-pain properties make us very, very excited. And unlike, say, an opioid, for example, PA doesn't seem to have these addictive qualities. So, we're hoping that we'll be able to find a target to take through phase trials, that could be, a replacement for opioids in a much healthier and better way. So
Yeah.
that's what we're doing today. Going forward, and we had announced in March and in April in our information circulars that we want to expand our biotechnology pipeline.
Mhm.
And what are we looking at? We're looking at acquiring assets in medical cannabis and or psychedelics.
Okay, okay. Well, it's interesting. Tell me a little bit more about PEA. How are you talking about administering this to patients, and what do you think the timeline is on that right now?
Sure. So the administration is orally. You take PA orally. And in terms of the timeline, I don't have it. I took the role of interim CEO only about a week and a half ago. So I'm looking at and trying to work out a plan, and to make sure also that we are in contact with the investment community to,
Mhm.
to keep the investors apprised, and to keep very open communication, and to let people follow what we're doing. So we're hoping very, very shortly we will come out with our plans and with some guidance as to what we're doing with PEA, and also in terms of updating. We're looking at a number of acquisitions, both in the cannabis and the psychedelic space. Um, we see a big opportunity right now because we trade on the Nasdaq.
Mhm.
There are four companies trading on the Nasdaq in the psychedelic space, and all of them have multiples between 10 and 40 times our multiple. And because we have a lot of cash in the bank, we're I feel in a very, very good and strong position to be able to make an acquisition, and execute it immediately without having to go to the market to raise money.
Wonderful, Anthony. It sounds like you guys are in a really strong position right now. As you had said, you got lots of things in the pipe that you should keep everybody updated on. So everyone stay tuned to FSD. We'll get you some more updates as soon as we can. Anthony, do you have any parting words for people before we go?
I think this is going to get very, very exciting here very, very, very soon. So we hope that shareholders reach out. If you go to our website, fsdpharma.com, sign up to a new investor page that we'll be launching here very shortly, and ask any questions. We're here to answer questions to shareholders. When we ran our Novo lists and our DTC and our CDS sheets, we realized that we have over 157,000 shareholders in FSD as of a week and a half ago. So there's a lot of people we have to, I think that we should be communicating better to, and to re-engage and to let them know that hopefully the really exciting things are about to start, and that we want to keep people updated, and to please go to our website and sign up so that we can get you information as it happens.
Wonderful. Well, you guys heard the man. If you have any questions, don't be afraid to ask him. Very happily dive into them for you. But for now, Anthony, thank you so much for coming on, and have a wonderful day.
You too, Michael. Thank you very much. Thank you.